Hey, conspiracy theorists. Today I'm going to talk about Tomago. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Tomago Aluminium Company. We'll go to the first article I saw. 6,000 jobs at risk as smelter nears collapse. Rio Tinto's massive Tomago Aluminium Smelter in New South Wales is reportedly close to collapse. The facility, situated in Tomago, about 13 kilometres west of Newcastle, employs some 1,000 workers directly, but a stoppage would hit another 5,000 indirect workers across the Hunter Valley. Mining giant Rio Tinto owns 51.6% interest in the smelter, which produces about 590,000 tonnes of aluminium each year, or about 37% of Australia's total production. So this is a seriously good business. This story is by Duncan Evans. I'm not quite sure where he's a Newswire he's from, probably. Tomago Aluminium Company is an independently managed joint venture. Joint venture partners are Rio Tinto, CSR and Hydro Aluminium. The owners provide raw materials to Tomago that are converted to aluminium at the Tomago plant, and the product is supplied back to the owners, who then take it to market. Unfortunately, it goes to Asia, where it's further produced into goods and services, well, into goods, aluminium products. Multiple reports suggest the company is in emergency talks with the state and federal governments for a bailout. We might come back to that in a minute. Newswire has contacted New South Wales Energy Minister Penny Sharp, Federal Energy Minister Chris Bowen, and the Australian Workers Union for confirmation of the discussions. Rio Tinto declined to comment on Tuesday. That's their right. The AFR first reported on the talks on Friday, citing high energy costs for the possible shutdown. Well. Tomago is currently powered by AGL Energy's Bayswater coal-fired power station, but is pivoting to renewable energy. Well, it doesn't sound like it's pivoting too well. Must have broken an ankle or something there. In January, the federal government announced a $2 billion production credit for aluminium businesses to transition their smelters to green energy, which Rio heralded as a vote of confidence in domestic manufacturing. Maybe whoever in Rio that said that doesn't understand that you need baseload power to make aluminium. You need real power, not this touchy-feely stuff that my father-in-law used to tell me. It's just touchy-feely stuff. So we're up to about 40% renewable production in Australia, and we're already seeing this. Let me read on. These guys can't afford the power. They can't afford the power bill. It's sending them broke. That, with all the wage laws and everything else and all the rules and regulations, I'm totally against bailouts, right? But what else are you going to do? The government's made it so you're buggered. What are you going to do? If they get a bailout, I want all the bakers that went broke in the shutdown period of 2020 to get a bailout as well. I want all the butcher shops that have gone broke from supermarkets selling meat over the last 30 years. I want them to get a bailout too. As traditional energy sources for heavy industry becomes increasingly uncompetitive, today's announcement is a critical piece in helping future-proof the industry, Rio Tinto Chief Executive for Australia, Kelly Parker, said. Well, that sounds nice, Kelly. We're transitioning to renewables. I've already seen other videos of people talking about this in Australia. We're down to, we can hardly make chocolate because of this renewable push, because the way the power comes through the lines is nowhere near as good as what it is from a coal-fired nuclear power or oil or gas. Something continuous, something solid. And we all know that these gas-fired power stations are there to back up when the wind doesn't blow and the sun doesn't shine. Such support is crucial for sustaining and growing regional economies. We need support from the government. Well, all the money in the world won't make the electricity, better quality. if you're going to go to renewables. Whatever. It's not fucking renewable. That's a load of bullshit. And all of it is natural. Hydro, coal, gas, nuclear, it's natural. Comes out of the ground. This crap about renewable, what are we going to do with all these defunct, already the first wind power station in Australia is ready for decommission because they don't last very long. Someone should have. I'm no great make America great again Trump advocate because he's got no idea what he's doing economically either. He's fucking things up just like everyone else. But he's done a few good things, and reduced regulations and made it so that they can advance with their nuclear. They if anyone told them about it, they'd be just laughing at us. The Asians are laughing at us. The South Koreans are laughing at us. The Chinese are laughing at us. What a joke! We're just getting rid of every last bloody bit of heavy industry in this country, and this country is, I'm sorry, but it's a quarry and a mine. It's where we dig stuff up. We've got more resources than anyone in the world. And what are we going to do? Where are we going to be soon? You can't run the country on a credit card in a shopping centre because you haven't got the steel to make it. Or you rely on the Chinese who are still reading Karl Marx that think that, capitalism's got to happen first and then we can go to this utopian communism. And by golly, the Soviet Union found out that was wrong. Makes everyone poor, collapses. Well, we're in the middle of a collapse. As global industrial customers and consumers increasingly focus on low-carbon products, this support signals Australia's potential to be a major supplier of aluminium needed for the global energy transition. Well, it doesn't if you can't afford the bloody power bill, does it? Why is the power bill so high? Moving away from coal. Coal's becoming less, viable. That's because you're beating it up. That's because you're actively trying to get rid of it. You idiots. Who's going to pay the taxes to pay the interest bill on all the money that you borrow when there's no taxpayers left? This experiment is eating itself. This country is eating itself. Not the country, not the people, nothing wrong with the people. But we're all complying with these, the energy minister. He's a czar. He knows nothing about energy production. He's never been involved in it. He's just got the portfolio. Yeah, you, Chris Bowen, did I say anything? 2GB's Ben Fordham, speaking on Tuesday, said the situation was not good. We've got the materials. We've got the workers. We've got the smelters. But what we don't have is a working energy system, he said. Good on you, Ben Fordham. If it shuts, we're not just losing a smelter, we're risking 6,000 jobs. What are they going to do? Learn to write code? Don't have to anymore. AI will do that. I'll tell you what, AI can't do nothing when the power's not on. Can it? Some 90% of Tomago aluminium is exported to Asia, unfortunately, like I said before, so they can do something with it. Aluminium is a key material used in a range of industries, from aircraft bodies to drink cans. Let's have a look at their own website. Australia's largest aluminium smelter has been operating 24 hours a day since 1983. They expanded again in 1995, I think, and made some more pots or whatever they call it to make some more, melt up some more aluminium. Contributes 2.2 billion annually to the Australian economy, of which 800 million is spent locally. The smelter produces 590,000 tonnes, I think I said that before, of aluminium every year, which is 37% of Australia's primary aluminium production. 90% of the product made at Tomago is exported to the Asia Pacific. Employs 1,000 plus staff directly, plus 200 contractors. Our staff are drawn from a significant geographic area throughout the Hunter Valley and Central Coast, travelling as far as 100 kilometres south, 80 kilometres north and 50 kilometres west of the plant. Ensuring our people are safe while they are at work is one of the main drivers of our business. This is straight off their website. Aluminium has increasingly become the world's metal of choice as it's sustainable for environmentally conscious economies. This crap has just leaked into everything, hasn't it? It's all nature. Do you know that there's a site in the world where uranium reacts naturally? Just a nuclear reactor just naturally sitting there cooking away? I'll look it up for you. It's all bloody natural. It all comes out of the ground, and even if it goes into the air, it comes back into the ground again. This is the biggest load of crap. And we're sick of it. We're sick of it. It is also versatile and is used in the production of cars, planes, homes, sporting equipment, and so much more. Australia's 5th largest export commodity. How much energy is used by Tomago aluminium? Aluminium production relies on electricity powered process 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. The production chain never stops. Tomago aluminium uses around 10% of the New South Wales power supply. That's huge. There's not many other places use 10% of New South Wales power supply. And you know what they need is a liquid fluoride molten salt nuclear reactor or a dual fluid liquid cooled nuclear reactor right next door, right there, supplying them with more power than they could ever need, and they can export some out to the grid or to anyone that wants to buy it. But no, we've got some wind farms and solar panels, and we've got extremely expensive electricity. So now it gets to the point where you've got to pay so much for that electricity. God damn, what's the bill on 10% of New South Wales electricity production? It'll be massive. But now it's at the point where, okay, we can't compete now with South Korea and others that are making aluminium. So we're just going to have to import diesel, dig the shit up, and send it overseas for someone else to deal with. Let's just, what's the solution? Get the government out of energy production. Totally. Remove the Department of Energy. Look at this bullshit I found here. I'll leave you with it in a second. What's this department here? Australian Government, Department of Climate Change, Energy and Environment and Water. Department of Climate Change. Do they make it so that we can easily transition from spring to summer? Is that what they're talking about? Like, you know that we're buggered when you read that. You know who's in there. All those F-wits that have never hustled, never had to work late. They might have had to work late, but they have no idea how the free market works, and they're not interested because they're still on their gravy train. They're still getting paid to fuck the country. So get rid of them. The good news is, guys, is they're going to get rid of themselves. Like I said, they're going to run out of taxpayers. They're going to run out of people that are willing to buy government bonds anywhere in the world. They're going to eat themselves and collapse. They're going to bring us all down with them, so we're all going to collapse. But at least those of us who are resourceful, we will survive. But they will continue to go after us with their rules and regulations and taxation. They will continue to until they've absolutely kicked the dog to death. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one.